Hello, hello. Okay, so we are on day 30. And so I wanted to, before I dive in, first of all, I want to emphasize the water intake, like I had said, is a full-time job. And so I definitely want to emphasize that the more you can start consuming as early as possible, the better. Also, I'm including my coffee ounces because somebody had told me a long time ago that water ounces in coffee count as well, to coffee and tea. So, but I started drinking my coffee black, obviously, because I don't want to be breaking my fast. And I have to tell you, low acidity coffee is the greatest thing on the planet. So, it takes that bitterness that black tea or black coffee has associated with it, and it just completely eliminates it. It's so good. So I get mine from the fresh market. I'm sure you can buy it online. I'll try to find some so I can drop a link. But it's like a game changer. So with today's with today's talk, I wanted to expand upon what I was talking about yesterday with progesterone. So luckily, I have a client, like I said, she's a genius and a therapist, and she knows everything about everything. And she was telling me about luteal phase, like symptoms and what happens. And, she was like, oh, of course I can do nothing after, while I'm in my luteal phase. And it was like, what? So I started doing some research into it. And the best suggestion that I can ever possibly recommend is Dr. Mindy Peltz does a whole deep dive into progesterone and how everything that you experience during that phase of ovulation beyond until the start of your cycle is all due to the changes in progesterone. So they call it a progesterone dump because, after the egg is released, it's the buildup is done. And so it stops building like crazy. So anyway, the changes in your attitude and your mindset and your focus and your mental clarity and your energy and everything across the board is completely transformed because of these hormones and the changes in them. So if anything, I'll definitely be recommending Dr. Mindy Peltz's book, Eat Like a Girl. And so I'll do a deep dive in that in our book club. So head over to that page for the link and everything for that. But so I want to encourage anybody who, if you're still having your cycle and you are wondering what's going on with your energy, it may very well be due to the phases of your cycle. And we're just going aimlessly throughout our lives thinking that the only time that really has any kind of effect is when we experience the days prior to our cycle starting. And that is absolutely not the case. So I think what I'm going to do is grab an excerpt from her book about what progesterone what progesterone does and how, it's just absolutely incredible what the changes are when you experience, this part of your cycle. And you can emphasize work. I even try to do my triathlons before this phase of my cycle because I've done both. And I will tell you that my performance after ovulation is horrible compared to before. So if there's anything, that we can gain from this, is about trying to schedule things accordingly so that we can optimize our everything. Absolutely. Whether it be our performance or our focus or our excitement, energy, everything. So anyway, I just wanted to be able to share on that and really encourage you to utilize tools like the Flow app, life-changing in terms of being able to find out where I was in my cycle. And I even have your regular cycle, so go figure. So that has been helpful. And then doing a deep dive into, and I read Mindy Peltz's Eat Like a Girl book in 0 time. I mean, I think I did a deep dive into it over the course of a weekend, couldn't put it down, and literally just learned so much. And I reference her book constantly. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to drop a link to it, share in our book club, and I'm just really excited to keep moving along with the year. So on to the rest of my day 30, and then we will have day 31 tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye.